In progress.
Hello, everyone. This is Phil. I am a coach for veterans to live their happiest life. I am also trying to get into law enforcement and first responders to take part in it. What I do is I work with you to find out what your needs, your desires, and your passion lie to live your happiest life. And I have two coaches with me today. There's Dee. She's a coach on the side, and she's looking to just enlighten everybody about what she does and how she can be a better part of making everybody's life better. And then we have Vanessa. She's the van life girl. She helps spouses of military and veterans and women to better understand where they're going in life and come to a point where they can stop, breathe, and enjoy the day no matter what location you're at throughout the world. And so we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to introduce Coach Dee.
Hello. All right. Thank you, Phil. That was an interesting introduction, but we forgive you, and this is our first one, so let's roll with it.
I'm not
my name is DeAnna Daniel. I am a Navy veteran and a child of the Army. So I grew up moving from base to base, mostly in Germany. It was a very interesting experience. I loved being in international crowds, so it served my life very well. I served in the Navy for 3.5 years, honorably separated since December of 2016. I faced a few challenges getting out of the Navy, and I overcame those challenges. And every time I meet another veteran, I give them the resources and educations and empowerment to make that for themselves. I am not accepting clients at the moment, but if you message me via LinkedIn, I am more than welcome to direct you to the places where you need to go. And especially Phil and Vanessa are very active, and I applaud everything that they're doing, and they've helped me as well in my career. So Vanessa, I will pass it on to you. Tell us about yourself, girl.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Phil, for the space. And Coach Dee, always nice to reconnect with you. I know we've done a few other webinars together, and we're all passionate about military community in our own way. So glad to be in this circle again. Vanessa Donaldson, I am a military spouse transitional coach. So I'm helping military spouses and maybe their veterans along with them plan that exit strategy plan. So big question when you're leaving the military, as you both have served and left the military, is what am I doing with life after the military? How does that look? And I'm asking even today, like, how does that feel? It's not just how does that look, but how do you want it to feel? Like coaching is all about the emotion. So it just popped in my head, like, how does that feel to you? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm a military spouse of 26 years. Met my husband actually while I was in the Peace Corps in Africa, and he was on Marine Security Guard. So that was a wild Lawrence of Arabia story. A book might come out one day. And yeah, we've been together ever since. So 26 something years, and we've got 2 adult kids now. So we've been through 5-6 deployments. He's combat service disabled veteran. And actually that's something else I do on the side, VA disability audits. I have partnered up as an independent contractor for a third party company that's helping those vets that are struggling with their disability rating. You know, when you get out, as we experience, my husband just wanted to get out, not do paperwork, relax, and just enjoy his life. But there are some loose ends, like the wife asking, so what was that disability and how does that work? And what are we going to get paid attached to your retirement check? Where's the financial side of this? So yeah, we went through it all, took us a lot of pain and error. And now I want to help people get through it a lot quicker with like ease and flow. So yeah, reach out to me for that. But I'm also a digital nomad, like Phil said. So there's our van, which we picked up used. We're all about living within our means and, you know, doing supplemental streams of income. So we've got properties that we rent out as Airbnbs, and we travel. We just came back from 4.5 months in Mexico. I've got my remote WeBoost and all that kind of stuff, so I can keep doing my digital nomadic work and do coaching from the road. And it's just awesome to be able to be living our best life. But I know not everybody is there right now. And I want to come and meet people where they're at in that transition pain point when they're struggling with, I don't know what to do next. We get that 3-day tap class, right, when we leave the military, and then you're out. You think you have all these tools, but if you don't have a mentor and someone to help hold your hand and just break down the goals to make them attainable, small steps, like what are you doing today? What are you doing this week? You can end up like depressed. Our suicide rates are still going up. So yeah, we're just all here in our own way to help with that. And my husband and I used to run a boating ministry back in California before COVID hit and shut us down. So that was another way to help vets get out. I'd hear stories with moms at the high school saying, hey, my husband's back from deployment and he hasn't left the room yet. He's just self-medicating. He's going to the VA, getting the brown bag of pills. The shades are closed, like classic depression signs. So we just would take them out on a boat ride for some ocean therapy. So everybody will find their passion at some point. And I'm just here to help you along with that, help the spouse be able to communicate with her husband on that transition. So we all want them to be thriving, like Phil said, like living your best life post-military, creating your own new, why, and no one's telling you what to do, where to go, how to dress, what to eat, when to go to the bathroom. You're on your own. So I'm here to guide with that process.
Yeah, because the way I look at it is we end up honestly being institutionalized in thought.
It's a cult.
Well, it's a lifestyle, and
but how else are you supposed to run such a big organization to keep everybody on the same mission at the same time? It's an incredible machine, but once you get out that machine, you got to figure it out for yourself. So.
Yeah, because it's hard enough to navigate that machine.
Mm-hmm.
And to set yourself up, because you find out you had different leaders doing different things that sometimes weren't in your best interest or their best interest, but depending on their leadership style is what it all boiled down to. I've had horrible leadership, and I've had phenomenal that did everything they could to push me forward and let me understand that it's my decision how I want to live. And I don't listen to what the negative people say, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I would have listened to them and not myself and what's good for me. And one of the things that I wrote an article about is getting off the couch and getting out and living a life, because I traveled, and you know what? I miss it. Because I like with Vanessa what she did.
You did the van life for a bit.
Yeah, I had a Class A RV that I traveled around in, and you know what? I got to see America. And honestly, no matter where you're at, we all have the same issues. We humans bring problems with them.
We're not AI.
No. And that's why with me, it was understanding and mastering self-awareness. Because in that self-awareness, I was able to understand I had zero emotional intelligence. I was not female friendly. And my daughters told me that. But to the most part, it's getting out and I had to stop and go, okay, I tried it my way and failed. Okay.
Feedback, not failure. Let's give ourselves some grace.
Well, no, I tripped and I fell, but I got right back up and said, okay, don't want to do that again. It hurt because I was alone and something I never wanted, but I had to understand that, okay, maybe the way I'm thinking is wrong and take different perspectives. And that's where my wife came in. She took the quite rustic individual that I thought I was cultured and realized that my problems with women is the way I was thinking. And my career and everything, my priorities were all out of whack, because you get in that such performance end of your job and you get kudos and get to do great and wonderful things, go to different
Bravo
countries.
Zulu.
Yes. And then when you retire, everybody, the life keeps going, and you know what? The machine still goes. You're just another part that retired. But how do you deal with your transition and how pushing yourself forward? We'll start with D.
Yeah, when I left the military, I immediately had a job. They gave me a great opportunity to find work, and the TAPS class was okay for me, but I kind of had a direction of where I wanted to go. And in the end, that opportunity didn't work out for me because I was going into marketing and I had come from engineering in the Navy. And I had outgrown that space. I was in that space before I left the military. And then I re entered it when I left. And I discovered that there's like a bigger world for me. So that's when I decided to get my MBA. I used my GI Bill to do that. And Operation to Opportunity O2O program also helped me study for my project management credentials. So all of those programs are out there. Please take advantage of them when you're on your way out, when you are in. Ask for as much time as you need to, submit those chits to have those opportunities so that when you get out, you are prepared. And you're never 100% prepared. You do have to have your support. You have to have your resources in order. You have to have your finances set. And one of the challenges I faced before getting out was not purchasing a home before getting out. Luckily, there are VA programs that help veterans purchase houses. And through Wounded Warriors, they have workshops. They have many workshops that can help you in the process of purchasing a home. IVMF is also a program that I've gone through for entrepreneurship leadership and building your business. So that's another one that you should probably look into. And all of those programs have helped me get to the point where I am now as an associate consultant for a technology company. And I help clients, and I also help people create the proper environment to achieve their goals in any area of life. So it's been a long journey, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Absolutely.
Well, and that's all you can expect. And
Yeah.
you prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
A plethora of information. Definitely keep Coach D in your back pocket. I'm seeing some comments come in here too, but go on.
Yes.
No, Vanessa, you mentioned something because the last time we worked together was last year, sometime in December, and you have just up-leveled your credentials. I am so proud of you. Please tell us more about what's been going on, what's new.
Well, thank you so much. One thing I realize, like Phil, is whether you're the vet or the spouse, you can't do it alone, and you need help, and you need to link up with people that have done things 2 steps ahead of you. So I was fortunate enough to have some resources to dive into my back pocket. I've used resources even like a retreat that Phil had mentioned. I thought it was just for vets, but apparently military spouses can take care of it too. So I went to a Hooves training, which is an equine therapy in Ohio. And I hung out with military spouses for about 5 days. We slept in bunk beds like teenagers in high school or college again, and did a lot of like self-growth work and interacted with the horses with their energy. It was amazing. So all these little steps of showing up, going to events, live events with real people, not just sitting behind a Zoom, gets you more connected. We've got a retirement community in Port Charlotte, Florida, where I live. So it's a lot of VFW and American Legion type hangouts. We're not right by a base. But yeah, we evolve with all our businesses and gravitate to, what gets us up in the morning. And I'm just passionate when I wake up and I have ideas of how I can come alongside vets. And I somehow connected with like this company that's helping with the audits. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I went through this with my spouse. It was such a struggle. And if I can make it an easier process for people, they're like, yeah, you can be an independent contractor for us and help go through that rating sheet and see what we can do for them. So it worked for us, and it's a game changer if you qualify, because, it's not just your retirement check now. We've got extra access to things in Florida as a veteran family, as a Marine. He's got his ID card. He can go to state parks, and we're really into nature. So doing the van life just kind of we've been moving our whole life. I've been kind of nomadic. You know, I grew up State Department, married a Marine. So my whole life has been like in transition. So it's funny, I'm a transitional coach, but there's something beautiful about always being open to the unknown and stepping into the fear and stuff like that. It just keeps me living in the now. So I'm not going to be against the wall questioning everything. What if, and living my life with what ifs. Phil had mentioned, you know, you get to decide. It's a choice. So I was at a church, like women's prayer thing the other day, and I said, my name is Vanessa. And they said, Victorious Vanessa. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a whole new rebranding one day. But I'm like,
That's you.
yeah, we want to be victorious. So, you know, not victim. We're not going to go around like we're a victim of anything. It's just like, it is what it is. And we're going to move forward. And, you know, we want to have results and thrive. So yeah, how I got into this all was just really living it myself. And when you live it yourself and you're excited about it, you just can't help but share that with other people that come into your world. So
absolutely.
Yep. And Swan mentioned like Team Rubicon. Yeah, I was signing up for all kinds of stuff, you know, after I think it was Phil who told me just go and sign up for things, even if your spouse isn't ready or he doesn't want to connect and he has his ocean therapy and he has his 1 or 2 guys he might, you know, ping if he needs to chime off something, and they're all over the US, but he's not into the whole group thing and kumbaya and hold hands, which is fine. But I like to be social, and you know, the community for the spouse is huge. We lived on bases and moved around in community, and I'm like, where's my community? So I've got some in-person community stuff, but I've got my online military spouse community too, where I've created a Facebook group and group coaching platform, mentorship, where we can come and give resources, vent, support each other. And that's how military spouses roll, like community. So Team Rubicon, we were actually camping and passing through from California back to Florida after we were in Mexico for a month and a half. And apparently there was a tornado or something near Natchez, Mississippi, is where we were. We went there. It was a Native American Indian powwow, and I've got Native American in me. They had a food market on the weekend. And I said, I'm going to reach out to Team Rubicon because I looked online and was like, oh my gosh, this is up the road. It's a disaster thing. This is what they do. We have a van. We can show up and bring water bottles or something. So I had to go through some hoops and email a few people, but yeah, found some people wrote me back. I think it might have even been one of the directors or leads and said, hey, we got this place covered, but thank you so much for reaching out. You know, and I get text messages from them anytime there's like a disaster thing. So there's so many different ways to volunteer and get involved. And the best way to like stop your pity party or just worry about the me monster and why things aren't going right with me is to help others and put yourself out there and think about others. And then there's a whole shift. You're not going to be just worried about you and your life because, you know, there's someone else that needs help too. And when you get out of your head and think about volunteering with in a community, especially military related, like that's what we want to do. We want to help other military. It just shifts your mindset. It gives you positive attitude. Just a lot of things flow from there. So,
all right.
Yeah. Someone's asking if the event will be recorded, and I don't think LinkedIn Lives. I don't know. Do they record, Phil? I don't think.
Live. LinkedIn, or it's on YouTube and Facebook. So
okay.
We'll get you the link.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you.
Thank you for joining.
For your question. And hopefully, like I said, we're doing this so we can actually get it out into the universe, because we've been friends for a little over a year. And I think these two women are phenomenal, that they've gone out of their way to become more happy with everything that they're doing. And if you don't enjoy it, you're not having fun, why do it? Because we've all done that when we were young. And that's the great thing about being growing older is, you know, I have that life experience. I've done the horrible, dirty jobs and been punished and done, but you know what? I survived it all.
Survived it all.
And you know what? None of us are perfect. But what we do is we come together as a group and understand that we're not alone. We have a lot of the same passions and understanding. And honestly, Vanessa, spouses of veterans are one of the most underlooked or overlooked.
Yeah. We know what you mean. You've got one.
There's not enough credit given to spouses because they don't understand. They live through that with us. the financial, the hardship, the kids, the great
pain,
and
the
wonderful
PTS,
things.
whatever they have, PTS will affect the spouse and the family too. It's a whole family issue.
Yes. And that's what it's about is, okay, that happened. Okay, what do we do now? Like that tornadoes and everything. There's so many different organizations that go out and help during after a disaster situation. And that's one of the things, because I was emergency management for the state of Washington as a state operations officer. And you know what? I've seen directly how the coordination and everything comes in to recover from anything that nature throws at us, we throw at ourselves, because there's somebody that studies it and keeps track of it. In that there's so much that we don't know that other people do, or vice versa. And it's about that life experience and how we come together. And you know what? I believe wholeheartedly, I see potential in people. And I learned that as in the military, to where good leadership will uplift you and push you in the right direction for you to go, oh my God, I can't believe I've done that. Because I grew up poor kid out of Dayton, Ohio. And you know what? Everybody told me not to go active duty, and it was the best decision I ever made. It was the hardest decision, and it was hard going through it. But you know what? I lived through it. No matter what it threw at me, I came home to my kids, and they were my guiding light. And realizing that's why I pay attention now to them. Because when they're kids, I looked at them and go, I'm not your friend, I'm your dad. And that stern type of parenting, or just the perspective. As a parent, it works, but as you get older, now I treat them like they're adults. They're grown people. I don't talk to them like they're little kids. I don't expect. Sometimes you got to let them fail and drop and get back up and dust off and go, I got this.
Mm-hmm. And Dee served as a military, child too, so she knows that side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we're wrapping up, I can definitely speak to that. Being able to see things from so many different perspectives. My father coming home, and he was in the military during the days of like the flat boots, and he had to carry the rucksacks and march for miles and miles. And
they don't do that anymore?
They don't. We have very comfortable shoes these days. They're starting to do nocturnal training so that people can have their watches sync with their circadian rhythm. So that's really good. They're really taking the health of the soldier and the sailors and just the service member into account. So people are coming out a lot healthier than they have in the past. And what I'd like to just advocate for anyone who has felt any type of illness or depression or PTSD, any trauma from the military, to please go get help. I was recently at Haley Brain Wellness Center for a traumatic injury that I received during the military. And there were 6 different doctors that evaluated me from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from psychological standpoint. And they will link you with all of the resources that you need. So I would advise anyone, and you can take all of the write-up straight to the VA, and it'll be linked with your medical records, and you'll be able to get help and treatment for whatever it is that you need.
So where are they located?
They're located in Jacksonville, and they are free to first responders and military veterans. At this point, they're doing a lot of trials and testing the service before they bring it to providers, so before they start charging providers. So please take advantage of Haley Brain Wellness Center.
Yes. Thank you for that info. Yeah, there's another company with 220. They work with first responders and also military. They do a lot of, I guess, rewiring, remapping of the brain, and you don't even have to go there in person. So they are zooming in with you from the comfort of your home. If you're struggling with depression, suicide, whatever, and they have amazing coaches and licensed psychologists, all that to help through that. So yeah, definitely reach out to any of us for resources, and maybe we should leave with how they should connect with us, because I think only our names are on here.
Do it.
Let's do it. Dee, how do they connect with you?
Connect with me on LinkedIn, DeAnna Daniel. I'll be the big smiling face that pops up in red.
How do they get a hold of you, Vanessa?
What was that?
How do they get a hold of you?
Oh, how do they get a hold of me? Yes, so connect with me as well, either LinkedIn, which is Vanessa Donaldson, and as well as my website, which is resetwithvanessa.com. So on there, I have a drop down for military spouses and a lot of resources on there to check out. And I can do consultation with you, packages for one-on-one, for group coaching. Just, I'm not taking too many clients at once. I don't need to explode because I do the van life with my husband, and we're on our way to Alaska this summer with my 84-year-old mom. So doing all that together, I want to have, time and space allotted for my few coaches or my few clients that are coming to me. So, but resetwithvanessa.com will get you closer to me, or the LinkedIn, Vanessa Donaldson. Thank you.
Outstanding. And that's the thing about it is, you know what? The more we uplift each other, the more that we project out and let everybody know, because these are things that they don't really tell you. You have to figure it out, or you find out the hard way or the long way. Because I know with my disability, it took me 4 years with constantly appealing to where, because there was a lot of stuff they didn't put on in the initial evaluation, but now it's all good. And I like to thank Juan, Steven, and Chiquata for coming on. And hey, just to let you know, we're all coaches. We all look at making lives better of those around us that are veterans. And for me, it's law enforcement, first responders as well. Vanessa has spouses, and the coach can give you advice.
Yes.
The most part is I love these type of conversations because I think they're desperately needed, and it gives definitely a different perspective with having great women out there doing what they need to do for themselves and others. And I mean, you have all my respect and admiration, because it's hard to do, and it's great to see people, striving for what they want out of life. And you don't know unless you try. So in closing, Coach D, do you got some last words to say? Get about 45 seconds.
I've said a lot already, and I just want to keep encouraging you to get the help that you need and to reach out to anyone that may be in your circle that you think could possibly help you, and just continue to fight, continue to try, and keep your eye on the light.
All right. Thank you, Dee.
Yeah.
Vanessa, you got 10 seconds.
Oh my, I'll just say, from Battlefield to Blossoming Retirement, just want to help all the veterans and their families get to that point where they're thriving, where they're not struggling with their finances. They have a flow of income coming in. They might have supplemental income. They're living the life they want to. They're traveling and having adventure. So many vets haven't even toured America, like you said. They've been more overseas in the sandbox than in the US. So I'm here to help with that whole process, and just step out, show up, be open. And the VA disabilities audits that I'm doing, that's a free first step. So definitely take advantage if you are stuck with your disability rating and something's off track. We're there to help you. So you don't have to keep that hand on the stove all the time. Get it off the stove.
Yeah, because if you really look at it, we wouldn't have or do what we do if we didn't have other people in our lives to solidify our desires of being happy. And you ladies are phenomenal. I hope to have this conversation again with you. And I look forward to every wonderful thing that we could step out and get off the couch and get out and do and enjoy life. Thank you, ladies. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.